And are we actually recording? Yes, hooray, we are.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Oh, but on another note, so, with a lot of my project recently that I've been going into, a lot of them are going to involve me messing around with, lithium batteries, which are a bit touchy.
Right.
But I've learned enough about them, I feel safe doing certain things as long as I research them first.
Uh-huh.
I have recently, though, come to a realization that I will try anything as long as I see one person on the internet who is doing it as well, unless that person is Russian.
Oh, the Russians do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, and not safe or sane. So, I was going, I wonder if I could hook two lithium batteries up to one of these charger circuits, and I've since found out, yes, I can, because it's listed as being able to handle one or two. I'm like, okay, I could totally do that. But initially, I completely threw it out the window as an option because the only thing I saw was a video of a Russian guy who was doing it. I'm like, that means it's not safe. I mean, if the only person doing this is a Russian guy, that means it's one of those things where it probably stands a 50-50 chance of explosion, and that immense Russian, combination of balls and apathy just kicked in. I still remember the video of the huge-ass meteor strike they had.
Uh-huh.
Where apparently one of the videos you see is guys coming down the road and the meteor is heading right towards them. And as they're driving, they don't say anything at all. But apparently what they're saying once it passes by overhead, and they have not reacted at all as the driver goes, it would have been funny if it hit us, wouldn't it? Well, Russian nihilism. They're terrifying. One of the reasons I learned, never get in a fight with a Russian. But, yeah, if I just see a Russian doing it, that in no way means it's safe. It usually means only a crazy person with balls of steel would do it, or just a very, very crazy person.
On the other hand, makes those Russian videos fun to watch.
Yes, it does.
Because they'll just do shit, man.
Yeah, I mean, like the guys who, climbed up to the top floor of, an 18-story apartment building, and then threw a rope swing down between it and another building so that they could, do ridiculous rope swinging, and it's just one of those, oh my god. There is no way in hell I would have done that, even when I was a teenager and basically psychotic and suicidal, as all teenagers are. There's no way in hell I would have done that.
I guess I need to light my upper layers a little bit better. I'm getting things down here.
Terrible things.
Well, they're not great things.
Well, nothing is, really.
But now they're dead things.
I'm still working on the idea of, because summer is coming up. I mean, technically it should be spring, but it's really late winter around here. I'm right now working on the idea if I still want to try and build myself either a wrist-mounted computer,
Right.
or failing that, a gaming system that can work off of rechargeable batteries. So that when the inevitable, apparently week-long blackouts happen, which have been happening a decent amount the last few years, I will have a way to keep myself from going insane. The other thing I want to build is a solar-powered USB charger, which turns out is way simpler than I thought it was. That way, when inevitably the power goes out, I will be able to charge said gaming system. And, I fully intend to work on that, because the thing is, now that I understand a bit more about electronics and how to build them, the parts cost literally pennies. So it's like, I can do ridiculous shit for almost nothing, and the most expensive part is usually the lithium battery that I instead rip out of something else.
Hmm.
Like, I wish I had more things that run on rechargeable batteries that I could tear to bits to take the batteries out of. Because, I'll harvest those fuckers, as much as possible. Because they're actually usually the most expensive thing in any piece of electronics.
Mm-hmm.
But the funny thing is, they're so easy to repurpose into just a handy little USB battery pack that I've been, doing that. Because you basically buy a 45-cent circuit board. And actually, hell, 38 cents is how much I've been getting them for. And then you solder it on there, and then it is just done. You can charge anything off of it. You can charge it off of a USB port. And it becomes usually a very, very powerful backup USB power bank. And I like this because I'm not one of those... I'm not a survivalist. I do not need, like, a ridiculous... I don't need to be off the grid or anything like that. I like being prepared for a worst-case scenario.
Uh-huh.
Not like I'm gonna be ready for the zombie apocalypse, but I'm gonna be ready for when the power goes out. That's it. That's all I'm gonna be ready for. So there's something to do to keep me from going insane and eating my own lips. Which, can happen if you get bored enough. I'm sure that's perfectly normal. Yes, but then there's that still slight worry every time I do this where I'm like, I'm holding shit that explodes and bursts into flames if you treat it wrong.
Yeah. Just like a girlfriend.
Yeah, and she will burst into flames from time to time. Apparently, I learned that basically as far as new people in our free company get told, when they join, I'm an officer, Angel's an officer. And they will tell them, whatever you do, never piss off Angel. Under any circumstances, never piss her off, because she will rain down holy fire. If you start pissing her off, apologize, because you were most certainly wrong, whatever you said. Because she's not irrational. She is just vengeful. And people do not understand this at first. And then they will occasionally see, her blow up at people who they know to be her, reasonably close friend. And they will go, holy shit, what if that had been me? And the answer is you would be on fire right now. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I appreciate the fact that she is in no way, shape, or form irrational. That does not, however, mean that she is not vicious and vengeful.
Mm-hmm. But it's always carefully considered.
Oh yeah, she may rip your anus out through your nostrils. She will have a valid reason to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Put away all this. Should probably get around to making that, or to cooking that iron.
Eventually.
Well, I'm saving it for a rainy day. Well, those happen way too often in Minecraft, so I'm saving it for,
But thankfully we're underground, or at least I am.
Yeah, that's true.
You have an open sky hole.
I do have an open sky hole. I am not entirely sure. Oh man, that's so little work accomplished.
How far down are you?
Well, I'm working in levels, so I'm down at... My first level is down around level 50. The second level, which I'm currently mining out, is down at level, I think, 33.
Your map tells you.
Yeah, I know, I'm looking to see. That's why I was going down I was going down. Down. In a burning ring of fire. Enderman! Hi.
Well, if you don't look at it.
Yeah, well, the problem was coming up the ladder and didn't see it right away. But,
No, but if you don't look at it, it's fine.
well, yeah. Like, anyway, so yeah, like, I learned, like, I have a little RCA monitor. And it just takes a plain old RCA video cable.
Mm-hmm.
And it can run off of, like, 5 volts at 1 amp. So it can run off of a decent USB battery charger. So, yeah, one, that gives a decent output. And the Raspberry Pi can actually run off of 5 volts at, like, I think 500 milliamps. So you can run it off of garbage, and it will run forever.
Mm-hmm.
So I am currently planning to build an emergency blackout video gaming device. Also something that Angel would be able to take with her to work if she gets bored, like her work today, where she literally had a 14-hour shift where she did only 20 minutes of work.
Okay.
So, yeah, today was 13 hours and 40 minutes of her sitting in the car doing absolutely fuck all while waiting for a concrete truck to arrive so she could take cylinders and do an air meter test on it, which takes 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then after she took those, she was like, okay, I can get out of here. And they went, no, you have to stay until the last concrete truck shows up. It was already 5 p.m. at that point, and she had gone at like 8 p.m. And that was why on the way home, she was like, I worked 14 hours. Let's go to Golden Corral.
Ah.
No, technically she started work at 7 a.m. So it's just one of those, yeah. You want to eat something large and stupid, and
Not have to work for it.
yeah, and I am not edible anymore. But I'm begging stupid. That's what's not. No. But yeah, so she had. So I think I may have to build her an emergency gaming system to put in the car. That way she can play like Final Fantasy VI or something. Fighting games. I think mostly she liked fighting games for the SNES. So Street Fighter and Samurai Showdown and
Power Rangers, the Fighting Edition.
yes, and Sailor Moon, Super, whatever it was.
Yeah, there's one of those too.
Yeah. No, actually, that was in the ROM folder I downloaded, and I deleted all the Sailor Moon games because no. And oh man. Like I said, it's just one of those things of Rob was of an age when it came out where looking at teenage girls in short skirts was very interesting to him. And I was not yet in puberty, so it was not interesting to me at all. But Rob insisted we watch that every damn day while other things were on. So I resent Sailor Moon on a deep level.
I'm sorry, you're not going to find any support here because I like Sailor Moon.
Well, the thing is, now I recognize that it's not a bad series. It's definitely not what I'm interested in. I mean, it's cute. It's a cute series, and it's, magical girl stuff, and none of that's bad. I don't have anything against it. It's not what I particularly go out of my way to watch. But now, at this point in time, I will, if it is on, to sit back and watch it and not immediately, start getting angry that it's on. Though apparently the live-action Sailor Moon had traumatized a friend of ours.
How so?
And apparently there's a scene because the woman who is Queen Beryl has ridiculously long finger extensions on.
Uh-huh.
Which look raw, and she does what's supposed to be creepy hand gestures. With her fingers to emphasize that her fingers are creepy, I guess.
Uh-huh.
And Angel and her friend Gwen were sitting around watching it one of the times she went to visit Gwen. And like, it's so creepy, blah, blah, blah. And Angel went, she just wants to love her. With her fingers. And started doing creepy things with her fingers at her like Queen Beryl was doing, and apparently this traumatized our friend to now the point where you only have to say with her fingers before she starts crying, or at least screaming.
Okay, so it's less that the show traumatized her and more that
Yeah, more that Angel traumatized her because
yeah,
that's what you do with your friends.
yeah, yeah, it is.
And like I tried to explain to people, with my friends, it was always a game of who can embarrass the other more. And after a while, the answer to that is no. No one can embarrass anyone else more. Rob was always way too embarrassable, and so I always tried to be nice to him in that regard when we were growing up.
Mhm.
Like my friend Dave and I, if we were trying to embarrass the shit out of each other, it just kept getting worse and worse and worse and became the most extreme cases of gay chicken you can ever run into. Well, like, I remember there was a time where Jehovah's Witnesses were coming by, knocking door to door, and they automatically, like, when they saw us, started talking to us about, homosexuality and it being a sin and blah, blah, blah. And without another word, I just started humping him right in front of them, while maintaining eye contact with them. Unblinking, unwavering eye contact. Go on. No, we're listening. Keep talking. And just them stuttering and it getting worse and worse and worse until they finally left. And that was, there was no limit whatsoever because it was this person's an asshole and they need to hurt. But I remember the one time an ex of mine went out with, me, Dave, and his girlfriend at the time. And we decided we were going to act as gay as possible while we were all out together. And my ex, by the end of the day, was actually convinced that we had once dated. Even though we made we did not say we did.
Uh-huh.
We made no, inclination. We just let them make assumptions based on the way we behaved.
Mhm.
Like, when it came time for Dave to pay for shit, I reached into his back pocket, took out his wallet, and paid for it. And, then put it back in his pocket and smacked his ass. They were just staring. Like, what? But, no, that's the sort of shit you do with people you have been friends with for well more than a decade. Where there is no limit of, there is no sexual tension between us. We are neither of us interested in that. Therefore, nothing we do to each other will in any way make us feel awkward. Because there is no interest here. Therefore, we can do our best to make everyone else in the vicinity, or perhaps a radius, feel awkward. And uncomfortable as hell. But, and having one of those moments of, well, actually, it's a good place to end an episode.